The men's 1500 meters is quickly becoming one of the most competitive and historically fast events at this year's United States Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Never in my life have I seen 3 qualification races that were so fast that I honestly feel like 6 or 7 of these athletes have what it takes to challenge for the World Championship podium. If we go back to the 2021 Olympic trials, we can see Cole Hocker win this race in 3:35.28, taking down Matthew Centrowitz in second in 3:35.34. These times were super speedy before the Tokyo Olympic Games, as they represented the fastest athletes in the United States. But what if I told you that this time here, the winning time of the Olympic trials, wouldn't even be fast enough to qualify for the final in 2025? If you wanted to make it out of the semifinals in this year's United States Championships, you needed to achieve at least a 3:34.64. This time right here is the equivalent to around a 3:51 mile. These guys were not messing around. Here are the full results from the 2025 U.S. semifinals in the 15. You heard that right, the semifinals. At the very front, you have none other than Cole Hocker, the 2024 Olympic champ, who front ran this insanely quick 3:32. But not to be outdone from the third heat was Yared Nuguse in 3:32.66, an undeniably impressive time from the semifinal. These top 10 finishers right here have made it to the race that could be one of the quickest 1500 finals in American history. And based on every race building up to the final, from Grand Slam to the indoor circuit, we are set to see something extremely quick come the final. And I personally believe a sub 3:30 is basically inevitable. Now, to achieve this 3:32, Hocker split times of 56.92, followed by a 57.21, followed by a 57.75, and then for his final 300, he achieved a time of 40.7, which, if you're not too familiar with 300 splits, this is pushing quite close to 55-second flat pace for the final 400. This is insanely quick, especially for a solo run up front. But what I think was the most impressive part of this 15 was Hocker's final 200, which he achieved in 26.77 seconds. Hocker's gold medal status from last year's Olympic Games makes him a genuine threat to repeat as the world champion this season. It will be very challenging to achieve that once again, but given that Jakob Ingebrigtsen has been struggling with injury and has not raced nearly as much as previous seasons, Hocker looks poised to at least challenge for the gold. But the road to even qualifying out of the U.S. Championships is not going to be easy, because every person in this 15 is hungry, and they want nothing more than to dethrone the previous Olympic champ. Now, in 2024, we saw Cole Hocker, Yared Nuguse, and Hobbs Kessler qualify into Paris, a solid 3-man middle-distance squad that inarguably had the best showing on the big stage come the Olympics. Hocker took the gold, Nuguse almost snagged the silver, and Kessler finished a very respectable 5th, breaking 3:30 once again. This U.S. trio is positioned to possibly make it to the big stage again in 2025. But as I stated a few days ago, I still believe that this trio will not survive this incredibly competitive 1500 in the United States. There is just too much talent, there's too many racing possibilities, and there is just so much uncertainty that will unfold come the 15. There's Ethan Strand from North Carolina, a 3:48 indoor miler who looks poised to break 3:30 for the first time. There's Eric Holt, who just dropped a PB of 3:32 in the opening round. There's Gary Martin from Virginia, another collegiate 3:48 miler who ran this race in 3:31. There's also Sam Prakel, Nathan Green, this year's NCAA champion, Vincent Sietti representing Under Armour, and there's also Jonah Koech and the Washington Husky alumni, Joe Wascom and Luke Hauser. 2 athletes that have proven themselves on the big stages. If you want to win this year's 1500 in the U.S. Nationals, I think you're going to need to at least run a 3:29.5. But this result may or may not come to fruition. And that's because I see 2 possibilities that will unfold for this final. One, a super fast, consistent pace is thrown down early either by Cole Hocker or Yared Nuguse, or possibly both of them. They did make the podium last year, so they might be talking about how to run this race. This racing tactic would ensure that both of these 3:27 runners make it to Tokyo, and it would likely lead to them separating from the field early and proving their ultra-elite middle-distance status. If this strategy does come to fruition, I think Hocker and Nuguse are a lock, but the race for bronze will be incredibly exciting. Now, for the other and much more interesting racing outcome, the pace lags early, the pack bunches together, and after a few laps of anxiety-inducing running, the pack breaks open, and we will probably see a devastating final 400 if this goes down, possibly even getting close to 50 seconds for the final lap, and I would not be surprised if we see around 26 flat for the final 200. Now, if this racing strategy comes to pass, I think Hocker is the only one with a guaranteed qualification spot. I think Naguse has improved his kick, but there are so many closers in this field, including Ethan Strand, who constantly throws down speedy final 100s. The men's 1500 just keeps getting faster every single season on the international stage, and if the Olympic finals and the World Championship finals are any indication, you have to be well under 3:30 in order to become a global championship medalist. And now, I will pass this question off to you. Who do you think will win this middle distance race of titans? Do you have Cole Hocker taking the win, will Yared Naguse come in clutch, or do you have someone else such as Hobbs Kessler, Ethan Strand, or perhaps Gary Martin pulling off a massive upset? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.